welcome back to this amazing channel. I'm Lady Ntsa. So in case you're new here, please consider subscribing. It's an amazing channel. You'll get to see new videos every Wednesday and on Sundays, and content relating to corporate workplace, motherhood, and general life matters. So today I want to talk about renewing your smart driving license in Kenya through Ecitizen or through Ntsa or through cyber, however you do it. So I need to tell you everything that you need to know before your license expires. So stay tuned, watch the video up to the end. Please like and also leave a comment, even if it's an emoji. Show me some love. Both the old licenses and the new license are normally renewed on the Ntsa portal, either through Teams, or nowadays they have that you're renewing through your Ecitizen account. I'm the cyber person for everyone in our family because I renew for my brothers, and I've done that this year. So now it is my turn to renew my own insurance, and I log into the Ntsa portal, and of course I go to the part you're supposed to renew your driving license. When I put in my ID number and the password, which are normally used as the credentials, or use your email address, it says account doesn't exist. Then I'm like, it doesn't exist? How? It's not the first time. Nowadays you're renewing using your Ecitizen details. So I've accessed Ecitizens previously to do some other transactions. And furthermore, I've renewed licenses for other people. It's actually not the first time I'm renewing my driving license. So I give it some time. It tells me I can create an account. When I try to create a new account, it says the email address is already in use, or your ID number is already in use. Then I'm like, how does this happen? Or Ecitizen, the day it was hacked, our details disappeared, or our details were maliciously used. So I'm like, let me get to the Ntsa portal and get their phone number and the email. I try to contact. No one receives that phone. So what do? And you know you cannot drive with an expired driving license. Otherwise, you'll be harassed by the policemen. They'll have to go away with some of your money. And that is money enough to renew your driving license. Because anyway, it's 650 shillings for a year. So one day, I decide, why shouldn't I go to the Ntsa offices? Actually, I just walk around the Ntsa head office. So I can walk in and get to see where is the problem. I get to work on a Monday morning, and I tell my boss at 10 a.m. I'll dash out for like 1 or 2 hours and then I'll come back. So I'm granted permission. I go to Ntsa offices. Ntsa offices are normally at, I think, that Gong Avenue at a building called 361 Chambers. I decide instead of walking, it will take me like 10 or 15 minutes to walk, then 10 to 15 minutes to come back. That's a place I can drive in 3 minutes, so let me just go with the car. And Ntsa shares the same building with business registration. Is it a company or organization? So I've been there previously and I didn't have problems with parking. So on this particular day, I walk in, I get to the gate, then the gate man approaches me and asks, so which office are you going to? I tell him, I'm going to Ntsa office. Ah, okay. So speak to the guy in the other gate. Get to ask the guy I was referred to, where should I park if I'm going to Ntsa offices? And he tells me, behind this building, we have a parking. So you will go down through Fairview, use the next street, that is the 2nd Gong Avenue. Then right behind this building is where we have parking. So I'm like, you know, you have to obey what you're told. So I didn't understand because I had been there before, but I was going to a different office and I parked inside the building. So I just drive backwards. And when I get to that parking lot, I'm told for 0 to 3 hours, you pay 150 shillings. And it's actually a separate place from where the Ntsa building is. Of course, I feel frustrated because at my workplace, I also pay for parking. So I drove this car from where I work to Ntsa. Then here, I'm told to pay an extra 150 because I'm supposed to park between 0 to 3 hours. And I'm like, I should have left the car if I knew this is what will happen. Then I'm also like, why didn't this guy tell me this parking is being paid for? I tried to understand, but with this economy, I was not willing to spend 250 shillings on parking in one day. I don't earn all that amount of money. So I get angry. First of all, because I'm broke. I don't want to spend my money anyhowly. And second, because this guy at the NTSA gate should have told me if parking is not available, you pay. So I just decide I'm not paying 150. I know I can't even take 3 hours at NTSA offices. Noting that I've not taken a half day off. I've just told my boss I'm stepping out. I'll come back in 1 or 2 hours time. So I see some other Uber guys and people have parked along the highway. And I also decide, why not park? The risk here is, kanjo watakuja wakuwekea mashegera and you'll only pay 50 bob. It is better compared to paying 150 shillings. And I knew I wouldn't take 3 hours. So, karudi nyuma nikapark huko kwa pavements opposite Prism Towers. And I come back to the parking. Then in the parking, pedestrians are not allowed. Another frustration. So if you're not coming in with the car, then you cannot trespass to the NTSA building. So I have to go back like a 7 minutes walk to get back to the NTSA offices. So once I'm there, people have queued. Many people go to NTSA for various reasons. Others, they have issues with their driving schools. Others have an issue with collection of new number plates. There is collection of logbooks. There's NTSA is always flooded. So I queue I'm supposed to queue at a smart driving license queries, but there's no one in that counter. I'm referred to a different counter where we have the Ecitizen guy and he's sorting some queries. So I go to him and I explain my predicaments. I tell him, I already have an account, but it says the details do not exist. And he's like, you're supposed to create a new account. You don't have an Ecitizen account. I feel like I'm not a fool. I'm learned. I know what I'm saying. I have used Ecitizen previously. So if I tell you it says my account doesn't exist, it means definitely there's a problem. You sort me. He says, you create another email address and now log in using that new email address, but maintain your ID number. I ask him, can't you merge, now that I already have an Ecitizen account, can't we just, you sort me on this existing account so that in future while doing other transactions, because I don't only renew driving license on Ecitizen, I do other things. So if I already have an existing account which is not reflecting at the point of renewing a license, you should be able to help me, noting that you are the guy at the Ecitizen counter. He's like, madam, that is the problem. There's nothing I can do about it. Create a new email address, create a new account, then you'll be able to log in. So it's fine. I go, I sit down, I create a new account, a new Gmail account, and I create a new Ecitizen account. Then I'm able to log in and I'm able to renew my driving license. So funny enough, for this smart driving license, I had been given a smart driving license in 2020. I went to NTSA, I took a photo. So I wouldn't understand how this is happening. But the guy told me, then you are using Teams. Nowadays we are using, I don't know, Ecitizen or what's the problem. So I tell him, when renewing driving license for other people, there is normally that place you ask, do you want to renew for 1 year or 3 years? I tell him, for this smart deal, it doesn't give me the option. It just bills me 3,050. And it doesn't show the validity period. And he's like, for smart driving licenses, you have to renew for 3 years. And I'm wondering, if 1 year for the people who had old licenses is 650, why am I being forced to renew for 3 years? And again, why is it 350? Sinafa kuwa 1,800. I think previously, if you renewed for 3 years, it would be way cheaper than renewing for 1 year at 650. So I get annoyed once more. because this information is not out there. It's not even in their website. No one really tells you, and we are not prepared for such kind of a budget. Why is it being forced onto us? Because I'm the desperate person here, I half-heartedly pay the 3,050 with so much pain, considering it's in the middle of the month, and I was prepared to pay 650. I didn't plan to pay for anything more than 1,000. So I pay, and I go back to the guy. I tell him I've paid. This is the payment. While creating the account, I had taken so much of my time, like 1 hour, because the passport, they need a clear passport, and it has to be of specific measures and specific size. So taking a selfie of the back picture using your phone will take a lot of time before you get the actual size. I tell him I've paid. So he tells me, no, go and take a photo. I'm like, which photo again? I've uploaded a passport photo. Why again am I taking a photo? And I was here in your NTSA offices, and I took a photo while taking up that smart driving license back in 2020. It's the same face. Why am I taking another photo? So, you know, in the government offices, you are the desperate one here. It's either you listen to what they are saying, or you go, you won't be served. So I decided, let me just queue and have the photo taken. So the queue is mrefu, and we don't have seats at NTSA. The fourth frustration now. I stayed there for like 40 minutes. No one is talking to us. We can't see people being served. The queue is not even moving. And after so much time being wasted standing and of course getting tired, a lady comes and picks our IDs, and she gets inside the car room and says she will call us. So at almost 1, I'm called in. The queue now has started moving. There were like 3 or 4 guys ahead of me. So when you get to that office, you just find people are just kupiga tu ma story. That's like any other government offices. And it's my turn to go to the camera lady. So I get to the camera lady, and she asks me, where is your ID? I tell her, we gave it out to that lady. Go come with it. So I go pick my ID, and the lady who had picked the IDs tells me, hey, the system has a downtime. I've not even finished with your ID. And I'm like, oh God, I came here at 10. No, it's almost 1. You're telling me your system is not working. How now? I go back to the camera lady, and she's like, you know, I'm stepping out. She goes, I think she went for lunch, and then they wanted to use the excuse of the system is the issue, but clearly they were going out for lunch. So we wait, me and other people who had come from other places. And being the head office, I could want to imagine people had come from all over the country, maybe to pick their logbooks or to do whatever. So mi nakaa hapo ni 1, sikuwa nimeomba ruhusa job. Already niko na woga because hii kazi ni ya wenyewe. Kama hujaomba ruhusa, you don't know what the your boss will think about you. Secondly, I don't know whether I'll find my car being vandalized, considering sikuiweka kwa parking lot, niliweka tu kwa barabara huko tu kwa highway. So mi nakasirika, but najiambia anyway, cause nataka ku renew driving license, me I wouldn't want to have any trouble with the policeman. Wacha tu ningoje. So at around 1:40, systems inarudi na hakuna camera lady. Tunangoja hadi almost 2:05 ndio madam anakuja kutuambia yeye poleni, systems ilipotea lakini sasa zimerudi. Ama mnaweza acha your IDs when the systems comes back mkuje. And I'm like, nani akona hiyo time ya kuja kwa NTSA office, upange line ufikiwe, then system atizipotee, uambiwe uende utarudi. Hiyo message haiko inaniingia vizuri. So mi nikangoja nikasabiwa. Let me tell you, hapo kwa kamera unachukuliwa picha within 3 minutes. Si kitu ilikuwa inafanya queue for hours and hours hapo. So ukimaliza unaambiwa uende mahali uconfirm your payment, confirm umelipa. Then you're being told, we will send you an SMS when the driving license is ready for collection. At this point, you feel so disappointed, and then you're desperate for this license because it's a requirement for you to drive. You need to have a valid driving license. And you're left wondering, when I renew for other people who had old driving license, number 1, I would renew for 1 year and pay that $650, and it's done online. You will have your driving license with you on the phone. So now, when it comes to smart driving license, it is supposed to be digital. I've come to your offices. I've spent almost 4 hours. You forced me to pay $3,050 because I have to renew for 3 years, which, first of all, I wasn't prepared for. And now, after wasting all that time, you're telling me I can't even go with that license home. I'll have to wait for an SMS, which I don't know how long it's gonna take. Yani, these government offices, they are just so frustrating in terms of times, in terms of money, and you even think they can't even give you free parking. You have to pay $150 for parking, and you're like, who the hell gives these people this job? People who are willing to work don't get these jobs, but people who are just placed there, they think they can just mishandle citizens. Why so now? I go home feeling disappointed. I go home feeling frustrated. And I go praying that the policeman doesn't get to stop me on the road and ask for the license. Because actually, even as I record this video, 3 days later, I haven't received the SMS to go collect my driving license. And I'm like, is it really supposed to take that long? If for other people you're able to do it online, end to end, why is it that when it comes to smart driving license, I have to wait for an SMS, I have to go queue in those NTSA offices? Who even has that time in this era? As I was seated there, there was a guy who had come from Meru and he was complaining he has come to pick his number plates for the 12th time. And I'm like, 12th time? Na unatoka Meru kukujia number plate. Kwani hakuna NTSA offices Meru? Ama you are so frustrated in Meru offices mpaka ukaamua kujileta head office. Anyway, this is not just about NTSA. I think as they audit the issue of passport, they should also audit the issue of NTSA with driving license, with logbooks, with number plates, because most of the time, for your driving license to be processed as quick as possible, you need to know someone in those offices. Otherwise, wewe itabidi ungoje. Na serikali ndo inafaa kuwa the best. They are giving the best services because they have the interest of their citizens at heart. Anywho, YouTube is my venting space. It's where I come to express myself. And so this was one of those videos I felt like I need to put this out there. So anyone who wants to renew their smart driving license, they should know 1 or 2 things about those NTSA offices. I don't know if I'll come back and tell you for how long it will take before I get an SMS to go collect my DL. But that is the current situation at the NTSA offices. So thank you so much, guys, for supporting me. I have 405 subscribers and I don't take that for granted. It is because of you, and I can see myself getting to 1,000 subscribers. So please don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, adios.